John, what impressed you the most yesterday?
I am continually impressed with, Zach Bond, the guys who showed up on defense, who, not that the defense was playing poorly, but I was wondering, like I said, Nolan Smith, I haven't seen him make any big plays lately. Zach Bond, I haven't seen him make any big plays lately. And then lo and behold, bam, Nolan Smith, sack. Bam, lo and behold, Zach Bond drops and makes an incredible play.
Skill interception
for that ball. To take the ball away, which is something we need to get back on track doing defensively in preparation for what we hope is a postseason run. I thought that Nakobe Dean, since his return, I just can't get over the intensity that he plays with. I love the intimidation factor. This guy, I mean, he's not the biggest dude. You know, Ray Lewis out there, Junior Seau out there, those guys were, 6'2", 6'3", 255.
He hits people violently.
This guy is not 255, but he hits you like a truck.
Yeah.
And he is not... He's one of those guys who is not afraid. Like some guys pull back a little bit, some guys turn their shoulder. He's one of those guys who just accelerates through contact. Yeah. Instead of running to contact, he accelerates through contact. And it's just such a great sign for the future of our defense.
If they keep him.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's making himself more money each and every week.
He must be kept.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jahad Campbell.
Must.
Well, I'll say this.
Jahad Campbell?
Well, I'll just say Jahad Campbell better develop as a pass rusher then.
Well,
I mean, no, I'm serious.
It's a good luxury. The leadership, the way that he destroys blocks.
Yeah.
The way that he leads by example in that respect.
Here's what I'll say, John.
This guy, the defense is different. Our run defense is so much better when Nakobe
I want to be
Dean's
very
in it.
clear. I really hope Nakobe is kept, and we all love him. And I think he's definitely my favorite of all the young players. Him and Devontae are my two favorites. When you don't talk about BG and Lane and guys that have won multiple Super Bowls. But I will say this: Eagles history tells you a guy like Nakobe is rarely kept when someone else is ready to step in. Troy and Bobby T were showing the door as Lito and Sheldon were ready. Brian Mitchell was showing the door when Brian Westbrook was ready to be a punt returner. Deuce was showing the door when it was time for Brian Westbrook to be the running back. Like, there's not a lot of great history of, I got somebody who can be a starter who's a backup, cheap and young, getting the gig.
Maybe it comes down to what Fangio wants.
Well, it could.
There were a lot of players left off that defense last year. We talked about it a lot. But I think it's very clear how much he trusts us.
Well, I agree, but I guess one thing I'd say that hurts Nakobe's case a bit, and it has nothing to do with Nakobe, is that it's not like they're playing Jahad Campbell at edge rusher right now. They're really not. And so that's a bit of a disappointment because ideally he would have slid into that spot half the game. Now, I know it coincided with BG coming back, Nolan Smith coming back, and Jalen Phillips coming in. So it became a very crowded room quickly.
Numbers game, yeah.
If you're looking toward the future, though, maybe it's Zach Bond that is no longer a part of the plan.
Not next year.
So good,
not with the contract he's got.
I'm saying you got to keep him around to overlap for a while as you train up Jahad Campbell.
Well,
It's not a problem. It's not a bad problem to have if you're overstocked at inside linebacker, especially when you've got edge potential.
We'll see. All right, 215-592-9494. Let's do what we do after they win or lose. Either way, it's still called the Bad of the Bone Award. Sure is more fun when it's the badass type instead of the you bad type. Jon Ritchie, game balls, not blame balls. Who does the game ball go to?
I was really debating. I came close to giving this to our quarterback.
Okay.
I am going to the other side of the ball, like I was saying. I think Nakobe Dean is such a big part of what we're doing defensively, a big reason why things just seem like they've solidified. He is the green dot. He's a leader in a lot of ways, spiritually as well as just strategically. But on more than anything, he will crush you. He will unleash hell and roll his hips and accelerate right through your face.
Except when he plays against me in a free throw contest in basketball. Because he couldn't beat Rhea, you were there. Nakobe Dean couldn't beat me in
really
basketball.
Wasn't something I had considered yesterday.
Couldn't beat me in basketball. Just saying.
Free throw shooting.
In basketball.
No. Shooting free throws.
Shooting free throws is part of basketball.
Yeah.
Nakobe's a worthy winner.
a very
That's great.
Non-athletic part.
All right, anyway. Nakobe deserves the game ball for sure.
But he led our team in tackles, had a couple tackles for loss, and continues to be consistent. But what he does specifically in terms of intimidation, you cannot underestimate.
Well,
that.
and I'll say this, leadership also. When he gets, I think Schwarber got paid extra money for leadership, and I think Nakobe, as a free agent, whether it's the Eagles or the other teams that could get him, that's going to factor in. Seltzer, game ball to who?
I was all ready to go defense because I do think defense deserves the top billing yesterday and on this team, but it's because I thought Jalen was going to go number one, so I'll happily take Jalen here. Look, the defense won him the game yesterday, but yesterday was the first time in a while we've seen Jalen look completely and totally in control of a football game. I'm 12 of 15, 3 touchdowns, didn't play in the fourth quarter, ran the ball when they needed him to,
that was big.
Coming off his worst game as a professional football player, his worst ever game last week, to come in that spot, in that building where the last time they were there, they were practically booed off the field, like a lot on his shoulders this week, and he was awesome.
He was tremendous. He really was. Rhea, game ball, who do you got?
I have to give it to BG. Oldest
That's
Eagle.
What I was going to do, Rhea. Yeah, I thought I was going to get BG.
Oldest Eagle to a player with a sack. 2 sacks in only 7 snaps, and he also had a tackle for a loss.
Yep.
I mean, it defies odds.
Love him. Totally love him. So I've got a sarcastic game ball. Should I give it?
Oh, boy.
Just for fun?
Well, I mean, I'm a little struggling here. Like, I'm thinking about going Quinyon Mitchell, who we never even saw on the screen because they never throw to him.
It's a shame we don't talk about him. He's that good.
He's that amazing. I'm going to give a game ball to A.J. Brown for not complaining after only catching 2 passes.
You could have gone Dallas Goedert after a monster game.
Well, AJ also caught a touchdown. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown for 2 catches, one of which was a touchdown, and 0 complaints.
As far as we know.
0
the
complaints.
day is young.
I will say, look, first time in 4 games or whatever that they didn't force the ball to him, whatever. The offense looked a lot better.
It did look a lot better.
And they won by a lot.
It is an oddity. Look, obviously some others deserve it. A whole bunch of guys on defense deserve it. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm sure almost all of them played well. Jordan Davis inside other team.
Jalen Phillips played well.
Jalen Phillips.
Jomo had that
Blankenship. Again, Quinyon and Cooper DeJean, I think, are probably their 2 best defensive players, at least this year. You'd like to see Jalen Carter reestablish that by the end of the year. But I think to this point, Cooper and Quinyon have been I think they've been their 2 best players on the team. I
agree with that. I think they've been their 2 best football players this year.
And I'd probably put Devontae third, I think, who started strong. Obviously didn't have his...
I think it's Cooper.
And Quinyon, right?
Quinyon... Oh, it's so hard to say Quinyon in front of my Nakobe.
Well, Nakobe's he's in the top 3 or 4
He's got
also.
a small Nakobe because of injury and whatnot. Smaller window of contribution.
I think that's the difference, but he's been great. Also, quick, not that level, but shout out to Marcus Epps coming in and settling it a little bit after that horrible Sidney Brown game against the Bears. Like, he's not great or anything. That's the point. That's the point. We haven't noticed him
at all.
I noticed Sidney Brown when he's playing. I'll tell you that much.
I agree with that, and I'll even give an Adoree Jackson a little attaboy with that also, because look, we've seen horrible starters through the years, and he's not. No. Here's my point. They haven't. He's not horrible the way some guys are horrible. And so, it's not like he's getting burned for 1 or 2 touchdowns.
He's improved, too.
Every game, the way I fear, and he has improved.
As he's gotten in the system, that old thing, John, you always talk about the Fangio system, maybe he's just more comfortable.
And he fended off. The other guy is playing special teams. The
Keeley.
No, the other guy.
Oh, Jacorian Bennett.
Yes. Jacorian Bennett does play special teams, but doesn't get out there because Adoree Jackson's held it down.